Hey everyone. More exciting news here at the homestead to share with everybody. We had a massive project this summer to take care of, being the chicken coop and the chicken run, and we finally got it wrapped up and we want to share it with everyone. We had no place to put chickens out here, and we had a ton of reclaimed materials, packing materials, crate materials, and stuff. And this old grain bin here behind us, and so we decided we would convert that. We get down into minus 40s here in the winter, and we needed some place that we could retrofit to, insulate and make warm and cozy for these guys during the winter months. And yeah, and then we needed an enclosure, so we built them this outside enclosure, which we've attached to the barn. And the barn is also attached to the chicken coop. We went ahead and put a tunnel in so that in the winter, when this area is closed off to them because it's too cold to go outside, they can shoot into the barn, scratch around in the common area in the barn in there, and share warmth with the other animals in the barn. So we're excited to show you guys and tour through this thing and explain what we did.
Okay, chickies, we'll be back. So this is one of the entrances to the outside run that's right next to the front entrance to the coop itself. There's another entrance on the outside there, and then we can come around and get access to the outside run if we need. This is our old grain bin. This thing was pretty dilapidated. It's been here since the 40s, late 40s. We pretty much had to rebuild the whole thing. It was really out of square and sitting uneven, so we kind of shifted it and moved it. We super insulated the heck out of it, but we added these windows to bring in some natural light and also help keep this thing warm in the winter. So this thing faces east and south, so it stays in the sun all day. So in the winter, they'll get a nice greenhouse effect with these giant windows. In the summer, it's going to make it a little more difficult for us to maintain the heat, but we do have a large vent on the roof that used to be the grain chute that we just kind of converted into a little bit of a vent. And then I also have some gable vents coming. They haven't arrived yet, but there'll be a gable vent on either end to help air move through, as well as a little solar powered fan to kind of help keep the chickens cooler at night, so it'll help keep air moving through there in the hotter summer nights. Okay, so we went ahead and ran power from the barn. We do have power for lights and receptacles in the barn, so we went ahead and tapped into that power and we ran it through. This is our tunnel that connects the chicken coop with the barn. There are doors on all three sides of this. So in the winter months, we can close off the outside run and let them run inside the barn where we have a huge common space with some straw and stuff for them to climb around, and then they can share heat with the horses and the goats and everybody else. And yeah, it's good and weatherproof. This was reclaimed material. We ordered some galvanized roofing for another project. This was just the stuff they packed in on it. So this didn't cost us anything, and it was just laying around. So I went ahead and covered it to give it a little more weatherproofing and let the plywood underneath last for pretty much ever. It'll outlast this buildings, that's for sure. Let's get inside and check this thing out. Okay, so this thing was not winter ready at all. Flimsy little tongue and groove plank doors. So we went ahead and insulated the heck out of it inside with a bunch of that Mylar bubble insulation, and then put a bunch of 1/2-inch plywood on there. This looks really hodgepodge, people. This was all reclaimed material. None of this cost me anything. This was all just packing material for some equipment that was delivered to a job site I was on, and we ended up with piles of it. I did not want to have to pull all this stuff off of there and pull all these staples, so where I didn't have to, I didn't. But now this door is really heavy duty, storm ready, insulated, no draft coming through there. For the summer months, we went ahead and put in this screen door, so we can secure them in there, leave this open all night, and we shouldn't have any issues with predators between this and the guardian dog and the horses. We're not too concerned with leaving them in here at night. We will go ahead and Dutch style this door and have the lower half close over so it's more secure at night. and then this end will be open and the vent will be open, and they should get nice good draft in there in the summer nights. So this is our inside. Again, all reclaimed material. All this plywood was just packing material. We went ahead and got wool for insulation. We packed it in there 4 inches thick. The wool ends up being, or supposed to be, a great insulator. We've never used it. We're excited to share progress down the road with how it turns out as an insulator. We're told that pests do not like to harbor in it at all. And insects, a lot of insects don't like it because of the lanolin, and it's fire resistant. It does not burn as well. We're excited to see. It's also a good moisture barrier. So we packed that into the roof and into the walls for those super, super cold nights. We went ahead and pulled some electric in here, and we have our monitor. So this will monitor the temperature inside the coop at all times and turn those heaters on if they need to come on. We will also have a oil heater. So when it drops to minus 40, I hear a lot of people that don't believe in heating coops. I'm sorry, you are harming your animals by allowing them to be exposed to minus 40 temperatures in an uninsulated building. So we do heat on those cold winter days. So our roosts, same thing, peeled ash, salvaged from the trees that were damaged in the storm we had. These are easily removable with screws, so we can shift these as needed. Sorry, I felt like I was yelling over the chicken there. Anyway, diameter. So they say 2 inches is ideal. We found some of our smaller birds do enjoy a smaller, and some of the larger, older birds especially like a larger. So we kind of gave them a mix, and we'll kind of see where they decide they like to be, and we'll move things around accordingly. Sorry, we have somebody that wants to steal the show here. Anyway, yeah, so they say, make a circle with your finger and your thumb, and, that should be the diameter, or that's a comfortable diameter. I find that it's mixed with different breeds. You'll get different comfort levels for the birds. So we kind of tried to give them some variety here. Okay, so one of my favorite features of this is it's just a quick little unclip on the grommets, and then I can pull this off and kind of move it outside, throw everything out there, hose it off, and then let it dry, and then just hook it back in here. And yeah, I don't have to worry about, bending over and scraping the floor and everything else. It's a really neat system. A couple of people's videos showed this. And yeah, great content out there, guys. Keep making those videos. Above our nesting boxes, we went ahead and put in some storage. I went ahead and sealed it in so that it's hopefully rodent proof. Those things seem to find a way to get into anything. But anyway, it's up high. It's hopefully not obtainable. And we can keep our feed and our heat panels and all our accessories in here. And we got a little bit of dry storage up on the top. So just we felt it was a good use of the space. We have a lot of high space in here. We wanted to try and utilize it as best as possible. And down here we have our doorway, and this leads to the tunnel, which takes them to the outside run. And there is a door on the opposite end of this one that leads to the inside of the barn. So that we discussed earlier, that allows them to shuffle out of here in the morning, and if it's too cold to go outside, they can shoot into the barn and, yeah, bounce around with the goats and the rabbits and everybody else. So this was fun to make. Kind of a necessity. The chickens, they want places to get up and roost around, and we always have younger birds and older birds, and until they get used to each other, it's a good idea to have separate spaces. We've also learned for the younger birds, mix it up with your wood sizes, have some smaller diameter and some larger diameter. Some of the bigger older birds like the bigger, thicker wood to roost on. And until they establish their packing orders, it gives everybody a good way to space out. And this little swing's fun. We've taken that. I've seen that in a lot of other people's coops, and we thought that was fun. They like to get on the branches out. side and the branches move. So they seem to like that natural feel of being on a moving branch. So we're trying to replicate that in here for them. This was actually left behind by the old homeowners here. And rather than take it to the dump, I figured we could just put it in here. And then we're going to get a good blackout shade curtain. And that actually helps keep a few degrees cooler here in the summer. It's worked quite well when I was working in here to keep the sunlight out of here in the middle of the day. So yeah, it was a neat little thing we were able to salvage. So yeah, our flooring is the only thing we actually spent money on for this thing was the flooring and a few 2x4s to frame up some of the roofs and stuff. But we went ahead and the floor was rotting out in this building, so we went ahead and put a subfloor in. So we got some OSB plywood. I think it was 4 sheets total is what we ended up having to buy for this size. And we went to our local flooring guys. I almost forgot to mention that. Go to your local flooring companies and ask the guys if they've got any end of the roll lino laying around. It's a great way to get a good water resistant and clean surface. So when we need to remove this bedding, we can just sweep this bedding off of this floor and scrape everything off and wash it down good and get fresh bedding. And it's a good way to keep the flooring clean. We found in the past wood floors trap moisture. They get dirty really quick. A lot of mildew and mold starts forming on them. So if you can source this, go to your local guys, your mom and pop shops. They're usually willing to give you a great deal on a couple 100 square feet of flooring or 100 square feet of flooring. They'll usually give it to you for 30%, 40% less than retail. So if you're looking for a good way to protect the flooring in your coop, I also put it in the bottoms of the nesting boxes for the same reason. When we're ready to clean these out, we just pull the old straw and there's little panels of this flooring in there. We can pull them out, clean them up, and yeah, it helps keep the bugs down. And yeah, we try to keep it as clean as we can in here, especially for the 5 or 6 months of winter that we get that they're stuck in here for a good portion of the day. It's certainly not the prettiest thing in the world, but I don't think the chickens will care what it looks like. We were really proud of the fact that we spent very little money on this. At the end of the day, it was less than a few $100s in materials to do this thing. I'm not really concerned with the aesthetics. Like, we sourced antique hinges from other projects and other things that were laying around here. It's really fun to try and gather all these materials and try to make them work and fit into your project. It does pose a challenge, but I like the challenges of it. Even the wool insulation, came from a local farmer. We found in our area, some people are willing to just give this stuff away because they don't have anything. They can't do anything with it. It's not really good at market right now. So some people sell it to you for next to nothing or even just give it away. So, support your local farmers that way. We like to donate money or trade goods for it. We've learned as homesteaders, it's the best way to free up money for other things that you can't source or you can't make, like solar lights and solar fans and lino flooring for your coop. If you can, save money using materials that didn't cost you anything, and then it allows you to buy those few things that you need that you can't build in your backyard. So have fun with it and get creative and look around. Everybody in your neighborhood, everybody in the city is giving away pallets and packing materials. It's garbage to them, but it could be a useful material for your next project on the homestead. So yeah, we will update you guys with another video down the road here and see how it works out in the winter months. Thanks for letting us share our video with you. And yeah, hit subscribe and if you want to see further content.